Hello everyone, this is Diveshri Sawa and I'm going to present Hurdle Task 2 for ITEC 7415. So here are the few attributes of which FedUni want us to gain after completing our master's course, and they want these attributes to be present as a graduate, and they expect us to learn this one through our various experience during the master course, and also various different interactions we had with our professors, supervisor, clients, and teammates, and also classmates. So that these are as follows, like such as innovators, leaders, communicators, thinkers, and law abiding citizens. So these are the minimum or the ultimate five attributes which they want us to learn from our graduate course, from our master's course. Master's project for me, we have I have selected the project title as Insights on Diabetes and Use of ML to Predict Onset of Diabetes. We actually had three group members act along with me, so total four. So we have done the project, a master's project on this topic. So purpose for our project was to gain a deep understanding of type 2 diabetes and develop a machine learning model to predict when type 2 diabetes may begin in an individual according to certain characteristics. The project also aims at determining whether machine learning can make chronic disease such as diabetes more manageable for healthcare professionals. So this was one of the very innovative project which we chose, because nowadays healthcare, due to pandemic recently and how pandemic is spreading over the globe globally. So we thought this is one of the important sector which one should consider to analyze the data and give our insights. And type 2 diabetes is one of the most prevalent chronic disease around the globe according to WHO. So for our process masters project, we actually followed a agile methodology. For that, firstly, we decided the scope and constraints, and then developed roadmap, project timeline, and we divided our project into three sprints: sprint 1 and 2 and 3. So initially in sprint 1, we developed dashboards, collected articles, and also selected ML models, which we would like to develop in subsequent sprints. Then we developed the model, and finally we continuously evaluated the model and compared the results to to have a overall evaluation of a project. Overall evaluation of project that was also continuously done by having regular meetings with our clients and supervisors, and to understand whether we are actually meeting their demands and the requirements which were pre-decided by the client and um, and us, and we agree upon a few user stories, and we have to complete that and accomplish that at the end of the project. So now comes to attributes. What are the attributes like we discussed previously? So that is thinkers. Firstly is thinkers. Thinkers is something whom we are targeting, and what is the implementation of this project on general population around the globe, and where it can be, which sectors or where it can be implemented, why it is important, and how it is uh, relevant for future products as well, or future time as well. And in our case, we actually consider all the population, irrelevant of their age group, sex, and race. So that's important, because this study can be implemented on each and every person from different parts of the globe. And what is it? So it is actually about diabetes, which is really relevant, and can be related to another 20 years coming from now. And it is one of the most chronic disease which is prevalent around the globe, and where it can be implemented anywhere and everywhere, because every corner of the globe has some prevalence of diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes. Why it is important? Because due to nowadays the health is one of the major factor to have a convenient life, and especially during a pandemic where comorbidities such as diabetes plays a major factor. To get any pandemic disease, and how it is important because it is a cost effective and can actually screen mass at mass level for whole community. So early prevention can be done. So thinker wise, it's actually one of the very appropriate and relevant project what we have chosen. Innovators, yes. Why this attribute we achieved during our project is because we actually try to do qualitative research by reading doing different review and literature. We actually collected 50 to 60 articles and researched about it, so we know what is the actually cause of disease like type 2 diabetes, what are the different attributes or risk factors causing it, and how whether our project is feasible and can be achieved within a timeline. We actually had a strict timeline, and how innovative. Yes, we did an innovative application to it. We not only did the descriptive study, but also did the experimental study. So we developed predictive models and dashboards which can be implemented in any given population. Leaders, yes, this is one of the important attribute which we learned during our various units and also in master projects. This is this qualification skill as a leader. We need to gain few of the skills such as team motivation. One should always have a clear vision and goals, and proper communication, which is very important for us to communicate within the team and also as a leader. And this skill will be very relevant in my future workplace as well, because one has to be a good communicator and one has to know how to work in a team. So initially we had some difficulties to manage as a team and how to coordinate with each other, but later on we learned and we successfully completed our project. So attributes such as communicator is also one of the very important factor to achieve any goal in any given scenario, whether it's our future workplace or during this project. We actually used a few of the tools for to communicate, such as OneDrive, virtual meetings, WhatsApp, face-to-face, email. We also use some tools like project management tool that was also used as a communicator to know whether what are the tasks have been achieved. It's like a whiteboard, and anyone and everyone can log in and see of like supervisor, client, all the stakeholders of our project can log in and see what a task has been achieved and what is next to be achieved, whether we are actually meeting, we are keeping up with the timeline what we have discussed previously, and we are not delayed. So that was very important. We had many face-to-face meetings with our client, and we had in WhatsApp for urgent communication, like for meeting any deadlines, and also we had virtual meetings with our supervisor to know whether we are working on the right track or not. So OneDrive was used to share the files and other documents and articles. So attributes as a citizen is very important. Why? Because we as a graduate Fed Union want us to be a responsible and a responsible, ethical, equitable, and compassionate citizen. Also, we Fed Union want us to be environment friendly and a global citizen. What do you mean by global citizens? A global citizen is like we we can we can empathize, we can understand others even though they come from different background, different ethnicity, because that is very important when we work at workplace which is a multicultural thing. And during our project also we had team members, especially me, from me they were very different because they come from different ethnic background, and so that was a good learning to how to be ethical and equitable, and to share the task together and complete the task and achieve the common goal. So that was very important for us. So what are the SFI skills? What I learned during the project was communication, negotiation skills, programming skills, data analysis skills, statistical skills, and research skill. Research skill because we did a quantitative research about 50 to 60 articles as a group, and statistical skills because we implemented a machine learning and data coding, Python programming to develop predictive models. Data analysis skills because we actually developed a visualization based on the selected data set and dashboards to know the important insights. Programming skills, yes, was very important to know the Python program in order to actually develop a predictive model. Then communication and negotiation skill was one of the important skill which we required during our project, to communicate within the group with the client and supervisor, so that we all know what is the scope of the project and we are on the right track during the project or not. So importance of various um, skills, and how they are relevant, and which subjects we learn from, and what was the significance of that. So importance of communication negotiation skills, as we discussed previously, was important for communicating and negotiating the scope, and normal communication between the team members to achieve a common goal. That which we learned this one also from skills were learned this one from leadership in IT and project management, and that was very important for managing the project in order to meet all avoid all the constraints and gain this actually accomplish the scope and the objectives which were pre-decided for a project. Our data business analysis skill was important, and we learned this from business intelligence and big data analysis. This was very used for developing dashboards, visualizations, and compare their relevance to the general populations. Programming skills were very important. We learned from foundations of basic programming skills. We learned from foundations of programming, and then they develop those skills more by online tutor and with the help of supervisors. And just for based on that, we developed prediction models, and we also learned machine learning during this process. Thank you.